All right, if everybody could start getting to their seats, we'll get started. What? All right. I'm waiting on the band to finish. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. We're here at the annual Rea of Hope Miracles on Lee Street Dinner and Silent Auction, celebrating 19 years of service to West Virginia women and their families. So give yourselves another round of applause, please. Thank you all for being here. I want to start out by thanking our 3 event sponsors. First, Federal Home Loan Bank of Pittsburgh. They've been a faithful and generous contributor to our fundraiser and to our program. They've funded multiple Rea of Hope expansions, and they have become dear friends. We're very grateful for their continued support in and out of the spotlight for the past 17 years. The Kimball Foundation. Laura Kimball, who not only has provided financial support in way of donations and sponsorships for many fundraisers, she's also known for hiring Rea of Hope graduates and folks in recovery at Agent Pipeline. Most recently, Laura joined our board of directors, so thank you. And our newest event sponsor, Country Roads PAC, Senator Manchin. Thank you. We're so grateful for the support, and we're excited to hear from the senator on the big screen a little bit later tonight, so that'll be fun. I would like to thank our platinum sponsors, Unicare, over here. Give a round of applause, Unicare. IVS Hydro, Fred Clark. Fred. CAMC, yeah. And Summit Community Bank. And to all our sponsors, auction donors in attendance tonight, and along with all the organizations, businesses, programs, state offices, and individuals that are represented here today, Rea of Hope continues to thrive thanks to your support. So thank you. All right, the auction is going to be open until 7:55. So while we're eating and going through things, feel free to go over there and place more bids. At the end of the event, you'll look at the bid sheets that you've been bidding on. If you've won, you'll collect your bid sheet and head over to the payment table, which will be right over in front of all the auction items. We take cash, check, and credit cards. One more thing before we get to the food. So if you'll look at the center of your table, everyone has a little blue bag. Inside that bag are salt and pepper grinders from our friends at J.Q. Dickinson Salt Works. They were kind enough to donate them for our door prizes. So everyone look under your coffee cup saucer, and if you have a colored sticker, those are yours to take home. Yay! And if there's no one in the seat, flip it over. Everyone loves the salt and pepper shakers. That's awesome. All right. Now, I know everybody's ready to eat, but before we do, I'm going to ask former board member and our dear friend, Pastor Randy Richardson, to come up and bless our evening and our food.
Good evening. I wrote this down because you don't want me to get off on some tangent, and I sometimes tend to do that. As I was thinking about this night and what I wanted to say in this prayer, in this short prayer, I thought about life and about what pilgrims we are and how this is just an event on a road. And there is a quote that from Martin Luther, and since I'm a Lutheran pastor, we read him a lot, that is on my dining room wall. Luther didn't write it on my wall, by the way. But it seems appropriate for this group. This life, therefore, is not righteousness, but growth in righteousness. Not health, but healing. Not being, but becoming. Not rest, but exercise. We're not yet what we shall be, but we are growing toward it. The process is not yet finished, but it is going on. This is not the end, it is the road. All does not gleam in glory, but all is being purified. Would you please pray with me? Lord God, we are pilgrims. You've called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, by paths as yet untrodden, through perils unknown. Give us the faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us and your love supporting us. Thank you for the love and support of those who have provided this bounty of which we are about to partake. Thank you for this meal and all who have brought it to us. May it nourish and support us as we continue on our pilgrimage. And thank you for the love and support we receive and give to one another. May we do so with gratitude, acceptance, and humility. Guide us, O Lord. Amen.
Everybody enjoy their meal. I'll be back at 7:30. Okay, while everyone's enjoying their meal, go ahead and keep enjoying yourselves, but we have some special video greetings from both of our United States senators. Here to introduce Senator Manchin is Outreach Manager and Rea of Hope Board Member Brian Aloise.
Give it up for our hostess with the mostest, Haley over here. How about her? Well, good evening. Who are we kidding? It's a great evening, folks. My name is Brian Aloise, and I am here tonight on two fronts. One, I am a proud board member of Rea of Hope, and two, I have the honor of introducing my boss's video greeting, your United States Senator Joe Manchin III. Before we dive into Senator Manchin's message, on behalf of the board, staff, and residents, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Your support is the backbone of Rea of Hope's mission, and it's because of you that they're able to make such a meaningful impact on the lives of these incredible women. You just can't put a price on that. Now, that said, we wholly appreciate your donations, and the silent auction is right over there. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, your United States Senator Joe Manchin III.
Hello, I'm United States Senator Joe Manchin. I want to thank you for inviting me to be part of the Rea of Hope's Miracles of Lee Street Dinner and Silent Auction. I wish I could be there in person. Today, we recognize not just the facility, but the dedication, compassion, and resilience of the individuals who have made this place a beacon of hope and healing for women struggling with substance use disorders. Our home state continues to be ground zero for the drug epidemic. It's a battle that knows no bounds, affecting people from all walks of life. That being said, West Virginians are also some of the most resilient men and women this country has ever seen. In the face of this adversity, we find strength in our collective resolve to offer support, understanding, and a path toward recovery. Rea of Hope embodies the West Virginia spirit of compassion and commitment. It is a sanctuary where women find solace, guidance, and the tools that they need to reclaim their lives. Every day, the dedicated staff at Rea of Hope provide not only treatment, but also unwavering support and encouragement to those who walk through their doors, often at the most vulnerable moments of their lives. Here, women are not just residents. They are valued individuals with dreams, aspirations, and the potential for a brighter future. Through group therapy, educational workshops, and holistic wellness activities, Rea of Hope offers a sense of belonging and purpose that is essential for long-term recovery. Each of us has experienced a devastating toll that substance use disorder and alcoholism can take on our families, friends, and loved ones. The tremendous impact that a local organization like this can have on a community is often understated. Rea of Hope truly lives up to its name, providing hope to women and their families throughout all stages of recovery. Real change can only be achieved through hard work and perseverance. And the Rea of Hope passes these values along to every resident searching for a fresh start in life. To all the donors, sponsors, and business and in attendance this evening, thank you, and thank you for your generosity, which betters the lives of so many of our fellow West Virginians. The Executive Director, Haley Walker, the Rea of Hope staff and Board of Directors, your unwavering commitment has touched countless lives and transformed despair into hope, fear into courage, darkness into light. Let us continue to work together to break down barriers, eliminate stigma, and ensure that every individual seeking help finds the support and resources they need to embark on a path to recovery. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless the great state of West Virginia.
All right, thank you so much, Senator. And now we have another video we're going to show you. I want to thank a couple representatives from Shelley Moore's office here with us. Alex Vaughn, thank you so much for being here. She has visited Rea of Hope many times over the years, bringing 2 United States drug czars to tour our program and learn more about abstinence-based recovery. She has supported our efforts to continue to engage legislation as it relates to recovery housing, as well as giving voice to non-opioid choices. Ladies and gentlemen, our friend, United States Senator Shelley Moore Capito.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Haley. I am so glad to see everyone gathered together here this evening to support one of my favorite places, Rea of Hope. This organization has been such a force for good for so many West Virginians and their families. I am proud to join you in spirit to celebrate 19 years of achievements. I have so many good memories of working with you all, especially my friend Marie Beaver. I will continue to support you however I can as a West Virginian and through my role as a United States Senator. I wish I could be there with you to celebrate these 19 years of success, but I share your joy and pride in this big achievement. I also want to offer an enormous amount of gratitude to everyone who has served this organization with their time and donations. Without you, none of this would be possible. Your hard work speaks volumes about what it means to be a good neighbor, a loving family member, and a true West Virginian. I hope you all enjoy a well-deserved celebration, and here's to many more years of success.
All right. So now you guys keep eating. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Remember, the auction's open until 7:55. It's 7:36. So if you want to check your items. Okay, go ahead and keep eating. I just want to recognize a few more folks. Thank you to Embassy Suites, this beautiful venue that you're in, hosting our event for another year. Their staff is wonderful. The place is wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the band, the Pennington Project. They've been doing our fundraiser for several years. They're wonderful. They take requests sometimes. I don't know. They might be back this evening. American Technology for sound and video. Thank you guys. Bob back there. Elevate Entertainment. Chris, he's already gone, but the photo booth was back there, and it was wonderful. And so that's Elevate Entertainment, Chris and Jessica Riston. If you want their information, it's such a fun thing to have at events. If you got in there, you saw how easy it was. So just come see me. I'll give you their information. And our photographer, where are you at, John? John Seibold. Thank you, John, for being here. All right. 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes till the auction closes. Go, go. All right. Pens down. The auction is officially closed. All right. Make sure everybody gets back over here. No tripping. All right. Thank you, everyone who bid and who donated and really just supported Ray of Hope tonight. Thank you guys all so much. I hope you enjoyed your meal. I do want to share a little bit of information real quick about Ray of Hope. We have new and returning guests, so I think it's important that you hear about our progress and about our wonderful program that you're supporting here tonight. In 19 years, we've served 46 counties in West Virginia. We've gone from 1 facility to 6, from 1 staff member to 10, and from 10 beds to 44 beds for women and children in West Virginia. Since opening our doors in 2005, Ray of Hope has had 290 successful Phase 1 graduates. Since opening, go ahead, you can clap. Thank you, thank you. Since opening Phase 2, New Life Apartments in 2008, there have been 110 successful graduates. So we follow our graduates, post-graduation, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, and 1 year. We like to track our outcomes and make sure these women are doing, staying on the right track. And so of those 110 Phase 2 graduates at 1 year post-graduation, 91% of those women are still clean and sober. And 98% of those women are still working, living in a safe place with no new legal issues. So that's the miracle. I'm part of that statistic. There's a lot of other ladies here in the room that are part of that statistic. So I think it speaks volumes for Ray of Hope and our success. Several successful graduates have become first-time homeowners. We have received higher education degrees, thrive in the community, and continue to give back and build amazing lives. Okay, I want to recognize our board members. If you guys could please, if you don't want to stand up, you can just raise your hand, but it'd be cool if you stood up, because you guys are so awesome. So our current board members, if you could stand up and just give them a round of applause. We couldn't do it without the steadfast, unwavering, dedicated support of this incredible group of people. Thank you guys so much. This is one of my favorite quotes, and I thought it was really appropriate here. Never forget that a small group of dedicated people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And I think that describes our board of directors perfectly, so thank you guys. Something else that makes Ray of Hope unique is that we hire our graduates. As staff, we can carry the message, the culture, and enrich the lives of the new women by being a living example of what Ray of Hope and abstinence-based recovery can do in our lives. So I'd like to recognize the incredible staff. Everybody stand up, staff back there. Could not have this evening without them. They're wonderful. And we just love working together. And you guys remain standing, because then I'd also like all graduates, all Ray of Hope graduates that are in attendance tonight, if you could please rise as well. So this is why we're here. Thank you guys all so much. Okay, one more thing. Now we have some remarks and an award presentation from our board president. He has served on our board of directors since 2015. He is extraordinarily dedicated to our mission and was the inaugural recipient of last year's John Meyer Volunteer of the Year Award. So please help me welcome Jay Arsenault.
Get old, you got to write things down. So you remember everything you got to say. I want to thank everyone for attending this evening. This is our annual fundraiser, and it's one of the most important things that the Ray of Hope puts on each year. I'll let you know, I was talking to Haley before we started, and Haley and her staff do a tremendous job. I asked her when she started getting this event ready, and she started in January. And so it's her efforts that she works really hard, she and her staff, all these nice auction items, getting us as the board members to sell tickets, selling all these tickets. Each year, Haley sets the bar a little bit higher, and she seems to achieve it. This year, she's hoping to achieve a number over 100,000. So I think we really thank everybody in attendance. We thank everybody for their support. I'd like to give an applause to everybody and thank you for sponsoring this event. You know, you hear Haley talking up here, and I find her to be so articulate. And one of the things that we do in our, we meet 6 times a year, every other month for the board, and we have the Rea Reason. And we take a moment and somebody reads what Haley has written, and they're always very articulate, where she provides us with the story of one of the women that's in recovery at the Rea of Hope. And she always does a nice job. It helps us focus and remember why we serve on this board. This is my last time appearing as the president of Rea of Hope. At the end of this year, I'll have served 10 years on the board. I sometimes view myself as the accidental president. Nick Casey, my partner, he was one of the first board members, and he said, hey, Marie Beaver's looking for somebody to be on the board. Would you sign up? And at that time, it was a 4-year service on the board. So I thought, okay, I could volunteer. You do 2 terms, spend 4 years, and help an organization. So I thought that was fine. And then Marie, as you know, Marie was starting to have some health problems, and we wanted to make sure there was going to be some continuity. So the first change, they said, was, hey, we're going to take the term of all the board members and we're going to make it not 2 years, we're going to make it 3 years. So now all of a sudden, you're going to be on the board for 6 years. And then, while I was in the middle of that term, one of my buddies was the president of the board, and he had to resign. And so Marie came to me and she said, Jay, would you serve as president? And you know, there are some other people that were on the board at that time that were in recovery, and I thought, really, you want me to be president? We've got some other people. I think maybe they'd be better qualified. She said, no, I think you can do it, and I did, and it's been a tremendous opportunity. And I think it's been a really wonderful thing. We work with a wonderful staff on the board. The organization pretty much runs itself because of Haley and all of her staff. As she said, we've gone from 1, that was Marie in the very beginning, and now we have 10 members of the staff. Rea of Hope has a very important mission for our community, and we are here to support the hopes and dreams of recovering addicts. We are here to try and help recovering women reunite with their children and get everyone back to a constructive path forward. And I think that's a very important thing that we do. Haley mentioned all the graduates. We're now at 290 graduates. You know, when I started out, we were at 200. So I've been there with this program while we've had 90, and I'm sure when we hit 300, we'll celebrate. I had suggested to Marie that that was an occasion to celebrate when we hit our milestone of 200. I'm sure we'll hit our milestone of 300 in short order. Phase 1 is the women that are living in the main house. We now have 6 buildings as a result of the donations of everyone and the success of the program. We have not only the women living in the original group home, but we now have apartments. And in those apartments, we're reuniting mothers with their children. You know, many of the women that come to the program, they've been incarcerated, they've had problems, they've lost custody of their children. And so part of what we do with Rea of Hope is we get the women back on their feet and we help them work through their legal problems, and we reunite them with their children. And I think that's one of the most important things that the Rea of Hope does. Right now, we have 12 apartments, filled with 12 residents, and 6 children are living with their mothers in those apartments. I think that's a significant achievement. I was thinking of what I wanted to have for my remarks, and I was looking at our website, and if you haven't looked at it, on our website, right up front, you can't miss it, is a very nice video. And if you've never seen that video, I would really encourage you sometime, if you're on the Rea of Hope website, to look at that video. It was done several years ago when Marie Beaver was executive director, and then it was updated now that Haley's the executive director. But we've got participants and now employees such as Haley, Heather Darr, and Brittany Wolf. They all went through the program, and as Haley said, they are now on the staff of Rea of Hope. So they're turning around and giving back to the organization. They went through the organization and benefited from it, and now they're going through the organization. Brittany in particular talks about her dreams and to be a mother, and how she's been able to achieve her dream through the Rea of Hope. And that's our goal, to help every recovering addict to realize their dreams. The final thing I want to mention is, all these things that we've done, there's always more to do. There's more people that we need to help, and I'm always trying to think of ways that we can expand the program. And so we now have an opportunity. You've seen that the state has entered into a settlement and may have as much as $1 billion that's going to be able to start to flow to various organizations. And I've talked to our organization, and I'm trying to make sure that we're going to be there in line. Kanawha County is going to have grants of $250,000, and so we're going to be out there applying for those grants. And so I would like to see us be able to expand the program and be able to serve that many more people. And I would encourage you to continue to support our organization, and we're going to try to grow and do all we can for the state and this community. Now, last year, many of you were here, and I was quite surprised. As Haley said, I got honored as the first recipient of the John Mayer Volunteer of the Year Award. And so I told Haley that she really surprised me, and I wasn't really prepared for any remarks, but I think it all went well. And I told her that I had somebody in mind that I thought should be the next recipient. And so I'm pleased to tell you that Haley agreed with me, and I'm pleased to announce that our board member, Jack Rossi, is going to be our recipient of the 2024 John Mayer Award. So, Jack earned his bachelor's degree in business administration from WVU in 1970 with a concentration in accounting. Jack was a partner with Arnett and Foster for more than 30 years. He retired from Arnett and Foster, where he served as managing partner for more than 10 years. Jack is currently Executive Vice President of Business Development at Summit Community Bank and serves on many boards. I was very excited when Jack agreed to be on our board. Jack was first appointed to the Rea of Hope Board of Directors in 2017 and currently serves as treasurer. He just stepped up to become treasurer this year, and we were really pleased that he agreed to take on this additional responsibility. Jack has been a major supporter of WVU, and he has received numerous awards, including recipient of the WVU Foundation 2017 Outstanding Philanthropy Award, and recently he was awarded the role of Distinguished Alumni by the West Virginia University John Chambers College of Business and Economics, among many other worthy recognitions over the years for his service in our state. He served as a first lieutenant in the United States Army, where he served a tour of duty in Vietnam. And the last 7 years, between donations, sponsorships, auction items, and grant referrals, Jack has personally raised nearly $90,000 for Rea of Hope. His knack His knack for salesmanship has earned him the top ticket seller and sponsor closer for the past 3 years. He's really done an outstanding job for this organization. His love for sports always brings amazing collectible items to our auction every year, including donating his personal box seats for WVU football games. You saw over there the items from WVU signed by Zach Frazier. He told me the helmet over there was signed on the day that Zach Frazier got picked for the Steelers. So we really appreciate the dedication that Jack has offered to this organization. His generosity in monetary donations and his service to the board of time and effort proves his faith in our mission and his dedication to the women and children of West Virginia. Thank you.
Hey folks, you all know me. I'm speechless. I have nothing to say. Now, I want you all to go home early, so I'm not going to say much, but this was a total shock to me. But I will say that I serve on many, many different boards. I've served on many different boards, but the Rea of Hope board is the most satisfying, most gratifying board I've ever served on. And I want to thank you all for being here and for supporting the Rea. I didn't expect anything like this, and so I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to use an old phrase one of my guys told me, and some people heard this recently, is gentleman told me one time I was talking to him about what do I say to people, and he said, well, listen to this. He said, very few people will remember what you said, but a hell of a lot of them will remember how long it took you to say it, so I quit.
Well, that was awesome. Congratulations, Jack. So well deserved. And I tell you, I go to his office often, and he has great stories. So if you have time, listen to some of Jack's stories, because he's got some good stories. All right. Now, she has waited long enough. Tonight's graduate speaker has an incredible story, and you're sure to be blessed just by hearing the miracle and the strength and hope that she's here to share. And I know she's been struggling all day, and so let's pray for her heart and give her a warm, loving welcome. Jamie M. is here to tell her story.
I'm a crier, so I'm going to cry soon. My name's Jamie. I have a sobriety date of, I'm already crying. I have a sobriety date of April 21st, 2022, and I've been at the Rea of Hope since April 25th, 2022. I could go back and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, but my life really began when I got to the Rea of Hope. I grew up with a decent family. We didn't have much money, and there was a lot of arguing about that. So I remember my parents arguing a lot. I was in sports. I was an honor student. I was a national recognized student that was in a top 10% that was recognized by the president. I was so excited to get a letter and a picture of George Bush in the mail. And I thought I was just like the coolest kid in the world for getting that. I I got awards at the FBI Center growing up for being most honorable citizen. I've been nominated for Volunteer of the Year when I used to help the elderly when I was little. Like, I had a lot going for me. And then, like I said, my family didn't have money, so randomly one year when I was 13, we got to go to Disney World. And that was totally off the wall. So, we didn't think nothing of it. But my life changed forever after that week. The day we came home from Disney World, my parents split up. So that was the last time I had ever seen my parents together again. And that's when I learned that I'm a manipulator. I played my parents against each other. That's when I started to not get along with my mother. She had structure. My dad did not. My dad was my best friend. I would live with my mom until she made me mad. Then I'd go to my dad. And then when I needed my mom again for something, I went back to my mom. I eventually realized my dad, I could get more freedom. He would go to work before I could go to school. I got this boyfriend and realized we were just train tracks apart. So we would skip school together, and he'd be out before my dad would get home. There'd be nothing. Nobody would ever know. So my grades started to fail, and I really started to act out with my parents' divorce. And I was a high school athlete, so I was a freshman in high school hanging out with the seniors. And what does everybody do as a senior on Friday nights after a football game? I'm in a field drunk somewhere. And I remember the first time I ever got drunk, I woke up in a horse stable, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Little did I know that was like the beginning of like a really big turmoil. I figured out I could get my mom to get me out of school. Somehow or another, I talked her into making me a homeschool student, and I just never went back to school, but I was able to still get the benefits of still being a high school student. I did work a good bit, and then I started drinking all the time. I lived for the weekends. I was a weekend drinker, and then it started getting into more serious substances. And my uncle had got me a good job, so I straightened up for a good bit. I actually went and got my GED, got my head on straight, had a decent job at a hospital. And then I met another guy, and it kind of turmoiled again. And then I met another guy who I have been with for the last 10 years, so there's no more guys in this story. But we weren't using every day or nothing like that until we were. He had a little girl, and I immediately took her under my wing and loved her like she was my own. Her mother ended up being out of the picture shortly after, so I was full-time mommy. So me thinking I was doing the right thing, I quit my job, moved in, was super mom, and then we ended up having a little boy, and he was the greatest thing ever. And after we had our first little boy, we started really getting into using substances really drastically. It was pretty bad, but we thought we were still good parents because our kids were fed and they had nice clothes and they had a place to sleep. But the emotional abuse that we were doing because of our substance abuse, we weren't that good of parents. And then we had boy number 2. And this time, we were not able to hide from the substances, and CPS found out, and that is when they got involved in our life. And I did not get to take my son from the hospital that day. And that was the day I lost custody of all 3 of my kids, and I never returned it. I tried to get clean for a while. I really did. I went to treatment twice. I did the things I was supposed to do, but my heart wasn't, I mentally and physically was not ready to quit. And I'll stand here today and say that I did choose drugs over my children. And I live with that regret every day for the rest of my life. And when we knew we lost him for good, it was crazy. Like we were gone. And I used to not ever live again. My intentions were to just go until I could not go anymore. And then all of a sudden, we were so far gone. I had baby number 3, well, our baby number 3 on the way, and I was over 7 months pregnant before I even realized that I was pregnant. This was the roughest one yet because when I had him, he was taken from me immediately, and I left the hospital an hour later, and I remember telling him, I just wish I could forget this ever happened. And to look at that beautiful 2-year-old little boy now, like, I love that little boy so much. My mom, and the worst part is I really did it horrible to my mother. My mom stepped in and took all my kids, even his daughter that was not biologically mine. And I had our 2-year-old Landon on my mom's birthday. And I called my mom and I said, happy birthday, here's a baby, I can't keep him. And my mom was irate, but she stepped up and took him. And I had so much hatred and resentment to her for what she did, for not letting me see my kids. I wasn't allowed to have updates. She did legally adopt them, so I'm grateful that they didn't stay in the system, but she did not let me see them at all. And I still went. As soon as I left the hospital, I left and was using again. And it took the father of my children getting in trouble. And he left and was incarcerated, I lost every support I had. Nobody would help me. Everybody said, you got to do something with yourself. I lost my dad, who I thought I'd never lose. He's like, you got to go. He took me to rehab and dropped me off at the front door and was like, you figure this out. I didn't have anybody. So in my manipulative mind, I thought I could do this. I'm going to just wing this until he's out of jail, and then we'll be back doing our thing. Well, we weren't allowed to speak, so time to come to leave rehab, and I didn't know what to do. Nobody would tell me anything. All I spoke with him was a letter from him. So my counselor at rehab was like, I think it's time for you to go to the Rea of Hope. I heard of the Rea of Hope, and I did not want to come to the Rea of Hope because of the structure. But my manipulative thinking, I was like, all right, I'm just going to roll this. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to make these people happy. And so that's what I did. And I remember coming down there, and the very first day I got there was a girls' night out, where every month we have a monthly girls' night out where all of us go out and do something together. We went to a baseball game, and so I'm fresh new into recovery. I planned on not talking to nobody, just minding my own business, and I had all these girls introducing themselves and hugging me, and I was like, get off me. But I needed that. That was a good thing for me to have my first day. And I felt very unwelcome. I felt like these girls are too happy, just leave me alone. And then I remember the next morning when I woke up there, and I'm sorry I'm going to say her name out loud, and she probably don't remember I did this. She did this for me, but I woke up hungry, and I went in, and I remember asking Tiffany Cook if I could have something to eat. And she said, honey, this is your home. And nobody's really ever told me that, knowing that they meant it. And then, stupid me, I gave all the staff a hard time. I was not an easy ride through this program. I gave everybody a run for their money. I fought with my case manager on a weekly basis. I was probably on her fourth step. But throughout the program, they finally let me graduate. I decided to stay, and just something about it. I was going to meetings. I got involved with the recovery community. I had to practice humility, and I worked a fast food job until I was able to go up, and now I work for the state of West Virginia And so I have a good career job now. Right after I graduated phase 2, I made a joke about it, and it came to life because the father of my children got out of being incarcerated, and I said, give it a couple months and I'll be pregnant, and it was about 3 weeks later, and I was pregnant. But I knew when I found out I was pregnant, there was so much emotions because I knew I lost my other children. So every day I had to mentally prepare to lose this baby too. I had a stern talking to by Haley. She really gave me a talking to about this situation, but she was telling me things I needed to hear. But then at the end of the conversation, she said, "I love you, I support you, and I'll be here with you for you through all of this." And she was too. I went through and I had to try to mentally prepare every day to lose that baby the day I have him. I went through, and it was not an easy pregnancy. I got really big. I ended up going into labor a month early with him, and they all day messaging me, asking me if he was here yet. They were supportive. The board members bought me so much stuff. And the day I had my baby, when I knew they were coming, I was preparing. But he came in and told me that he didn't know if I would be able to take my baby home. He said he's never had a situation before to where I would where he's came in and a parent is clean and not using drugs. And so he said that as of right now, I didn't have restrictions with him, but I did not have custody of him and I could not take him home yet. I'm calling my case manager, I'm calling Haley. And Haley got on it. If it wasn't for this program, she was calling my CPS worker, telling him anything she needed to get him. And it was 2 days later, they called me and told me I could take my baby home. And if it wasn't for the Rea of Hope today and everything that they've taught me and been supportive and been my family, my beautiful 6-month-old baby wouldn't be living with me in the apartments today. He looks at all these women like they're aunts. He loves them so much. He's healthy. Since I had my son, I am now having relationships with my other children. I get to see them anytime I want, so I make sure I make a monthly visit with them. I now get to be a staff member at the Rea of Hope, to where I get to help other women and I get to guide them like I was guided through the program. And thanks to the Rea of Hope, I get to be a miracle on Lake Street. Thank you.
Wow. Well, that was wonderful, Jamie. Thank you so much. I know that everyone felt that. I know you did. I did. Well, that's about it for the night. I want to give Jamie one more round of applause, please, because it's not easy to get up here and expose yourself like that and talk about all that hard stuff that a lot of us wish nobody else knew, but part of recovery is saying out loud, what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now, and you don't really get the true picture of where someone is unless you know where they came from. So I'm always super proud when someone comes up here and lays their heart out, because not everyone can do that. Don't forget before you leave, oh wait, one more thing. Jack, congratulations again. You're wonderful. We appreciate you so much. I want to give Jack one more round of applause. And I want to thank everyone again for coming out, all our sponsors, everyone who bid on the silent auctions, everyone who donated, our speakers, all of our friends. I mean, it's such a wonderful night. I look forward to it every year. Yeah, I'll start working on it in January, but I look forward to it all year. I'm going to book the embassy tomorrow for next year. So if anybody's planning an event next year in 2025, I'm going to announce the event early so that there's nothing else on that night. Where's Kristen? I'll find you this evening. Anyway, okay, so if you bid on the silent auction, check your bid sheet and see if you won. If you have, just collect your bid sheet, and we have credit card, cash, and check line over here. Be patient with the ladies, because they got to make notes and write everything down, and then they'll retrieve your items. And thank you, guys. This concludes our program. I appreciate everyone for being here tonight. And John would like all the board members to come up front for a photo, if you don't mind. Board members that are here tonight, if you could come up front for a photo.